So I wasn't planning on reviewing Dior Sauvage Parfum until I wore it for at least a week, but after a couple days of wearing it, I have to say that it really sucks. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have a review of Sauvage Parfum, the newest, most expensive release from Dior. Now, when I say it sucks, I meant it in a few ways. It doesn't suck in all the ways. The scent is still quite good. I like the opening a lot. It has some citruses mixed with some tonka beans, some vanilla, some powderiness. The opening is really, really good. But when it comes to the dry down of the scent, that's where things get very basic and quite underwhelming. Let me do a quick rundown of the scent for you really quickly. So in the opening, you're gonna get that citrus, like I said, mixed with some base notes, the tonka bean, the vanilla. It smells really, really nice, and it has a really, really big difference from the original Sauvage, as in it doesn't really have that shower metallic, like shower gel vibe anymore. Like it's not uber fresh anymore. It's a little bit fresh, a little bit singy, but not nearly as much as the original. Now I like that because I like a more subdued Sauvage for myself personally, and I quite enjoy the opening. The Sauvage, the original one, tend to be a little bit too scratchy for me at times. If I wear it too much, I really just get bored of Sauvage EDT very, very, very quickly. And this one doesn't have that scratchy shower gel vibe, which I enjoy in a flanker, because a flanker should be different enough, and smelling it from the opening, I felt like it was different enough to be, to warrant a release. So I really quite enjoyed the opening. Now, as it dries down into the mid, I still enjoy the scent. The tonka bean is out there, the vanilla is out there, the sandalwood is really, really prominent, and it's really quite a pleasant scent. And that's roughly around 40 minutes into the fragrance. Now, after that, around an hour into the fragrance, not long after the mid comes to life at all, the fragrance just breaks down on itself. It becomes just way too powdery. As you know, tonka bean, vanilla, and sandalwood, these three notes tend to have a powdery-ish quality. And around an hour after you apply it, that powderiness comes out in spades. It becomes very, very powdery, and that's all you can smell. You don't really smell the tonka bean, you don't smell the vanilla, you don't smell the sandalwood. It's just like a mixture of powderiness, and that's, to me, is quite disappointing. Now, that's not the most disappointing thing about this fragrance. We'll get into that in a second. But scent-wise, I really like the opening. I enjoy the mid, but the dry down that lasts throughout the life of the fragrance really, really is underwhelming. And it sucks. What can I say? It just really, really sucks. Now, moving on to the performance of this fragrance, this is where this fragrance sucks the most. Longevity-wise, it lasts on my skin pretty long time, around 6 to 7 hours long. But it has zero projection. Absolutely zero projection. I wore 3 sprays on myself, right? And it's hot here in Las Vegas. Very, very hot. A lot of times fragrances are too strong here. I wore 3 sprays on myself. I drove to my buddy's house, which is only 10 minutes away. I walked into his house. He couldn't smell a thing. Normally, every time he can smell what I'm wearing, he asks me what I'm wearing. He's also a fragrance enthusiast, so we're in this hobby together. He knows fragrances just as well as I know fragrances. He didn't smell anything, like nothing. And throughout the time I've wore it, the past 2-3 days, I don't really smell much of anything either. I had to really dig my nose, like really, really close to get any kind of scent from this. I would say around 20 minutes into the fragrance, you're gonna have to dig your nose this close to smell anything from Dior Sauvage Parfum, which is very, very bad, because what's a fragrance without projection? Sure, it can last all day, but if it doesn't project, it really doesn't project, and that defeats the purpose of even wearing a fragrance, because you yourself can't even smell it. So you can't even make the argument that, oh, I wear fragrances, it's okay, I can smell it on myself, you're personal, you're happy. And no, you can't even do that because you can't smell anything. You have to dig your nose to smell something. So, wow, performance, I was super disappointed. That's why I decided to review this fragrance earlier than usual, because there's just not much to talk about it. The performance really sucks, and I don't agree with that. It should perform. It's a parfum after all, and it does perform in the longevity department, 6 to 7 hours. But in the projection department, absolute zero. I don't think I've ever had a fragrance that has this low of a projection. Even fragrances in eau de cologne territories project better than this one. So absolutely trash projection performance. So I can't stand for that. Next we have Versatility. Since this is a review video, I have to touch base on every single point relevant about this fragrance, even though I would not recommend this fragrance to anyone. Versatility wise, it also sucks. You know why? Because you can't really wear this to anything, because no one smells it. and you can't smell it. So versatility wise, why would you ever wear this? Okay, so let's take a step back. If I was to be super lenient on this fragrance, I would say that from scent alone, nothing else, right? From scent alone, I would say this is a pretty versatile fragrance for fall, winter, and spring. Not summer, fall, winter, spring, because the powderiness is a little bit too much for the sun. It doesn't really fit well in the heat. So spring, fall, winter is the best season to wear this, and you can wear this pretty much any time. But then again, why would you? No one smell it, not even yourself. So I might be coming off a little bit too aggressive at this time, but I really wanted to like it. You know what I mean? I smelled the opening, I smelled the mid, and in the first impression video, I really liked it. I like the smell. If it's stuck like that the whole time, or if it projects anywhere, maybe even half of the original Sauvage, I would have loved this scent. I would have really enjoyed it. But when it doesn't have projection, that's the end of fragrance, really. That's the end. Next, we have compliment factor, and this is probably the first fragrance ever that's gonna get a compliment factor of non-existent. Zero, nada. You're not gonna get any compliments from this fragrance because no one can smell you. That's the main problem. That's why I said when there's no projection, it's the end, because there's no point. There's really no point. I probably sound like a broken record right now, but that's just the case. I'm just a little bit disappointed. Now let's move on to the price. $150 for 100 ml, and I think $120 for a 60 ml. Not worth the price. I'm just gonna say that very bluntly. Not worth the price tag whatsoever. It's not even worth to me $30 at the moment because it just doesn't really do anything. So yeah, that's the price. And now let's move on to summary. All right, now this is a summary of this fragrance, the pro and con. So the pro of this fragrance is the opening smells nice. It's a nice flanker release scent-wise to the public that contrasts with Sauvage. That's pretty much the only pro it has. The cons, you guys all know it. Performance sucks. Versatility sucks because no one can smell it. Compliment factor, non-existent because no one can smell it. The price is also the highest amongst all the Dior designer fragrances, so that's also not good. So tons of cons with this fragrance, and my verdict is I really don't recommend it. This is probably the first fragrance on my channel where I wholeheartedly have nothing good to really say about it. I don't recommend this fragrance. Don't blind buy this. Test it out yourself first. If you get performance off your skin, that's a plus. I don't, my friends don't, and a few other reviews who I've talked to have mentioned the same thing. So I don't recommend this fragrance. What I do recommend though are the two original Sauvages, Sauvage EDT and Sauvage EDP. You can go with either one of these. It will be tremendously better and cheaper than that one. I think you can buy almost 2 bottles of this for the price of 1 bottle of that. So Dior Sauvage EDT, very good for summertime, any season, all occasion. One of the most highly decorated fragrance of this era, and for good reason. It just works. Performance is beastly and it does the job every time you wear it. Parfum. Dior Sauvage Eau de Parfum. This one is much better in terms of just artisticness in general. It has a lot going for it and it performs absolutely amazing, on par with the EDT. So these two are definitely way more superior options to the Parfum for cheaper. So I highly recommend these two. I even recommend the Cool Spray over this one. The Cool Spray I actually like because that one is just very singy. I like just spraying it on, just drenching myself with it because it just smells good. It's refreshing. So I even recommend Cool Spray over Sauvage Parfum. So if you want to wear anything that smells like Sauvage, I would say these 3 are the best options. Skip the Parfum. It's really not worth the price tag at all. Smell it yourself first, of course, if you want to go try it out for yourself. If you get performance out of this one, let me know. And remember, what I mean by performance is projection. If you get projection out of the Dior Sauvage Parfum, please let me know down in the comment section below, because anyone who I've talked to, none of them gets any kind of projection from the Dior Sauvage Parfum. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Sorry it's a little bit more of a darker one, but I have to be honest, it just doesn't work and I wish I could return that bottle. So yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Peace, bye.
I think I might have saw that one, but I don't really know.
Shush now.
Perfume sounds.
Here we go.
All right, I mean, words.
Look like perfume sound.
What sound was that again? Did that spray make? This one smells like chocolate almost.
Chocolate?
Well, at the beginning.
Okay.
Like, reminds me of chocolate.
Okay. It's all right.
Like
cool.
a 5.
Like a
maybe.
5? All right.
You're
That's
like,
okay.
I didn't tell you to rate it.
Let me just throw it away then. I was just gonna toss it back there. No, this one was Dior Sauvage, the newer one, the newer Parfum version. So only a 5. Oh,
like
wow. So the EDT is better. The original is better.